Oisín, Mayo versus Monaghan.
Monaghan.
Why is that?
I just look at the matchups, I look at the injury list that Mayo have, and I think this is absolutely Monaghan territory all over. I just think, as I say, the matchups. I don't think they'll be able to handle. I don't think Mayo will be able to handle McCarron and McManus. I think McManus and McCarron will love the wide open spaces that Mayo will offer them, and they just have too much quality, I think. And Monaghan have a few guys that haven't got a lot of game time that I would know from managing them at club level, and I think it would be interesting to see how those guys are thrown into the championship possibly next weekend. So I think that's why I think Monaghan is just completely set up for them.
Bryan?
I probably go Oisín. I think Monaghan that could well do it. I just think Mayo are just probably lacking again a bit of firepower up front to beat them. I think Monaghan will set up very solid at the back, and like that, I think Mayo will just kind of struggle to get scores. So, like Oisín, I think I'm going to go with Monaghan.
Tony?
This is the Donny Buckley derby. Obviously, he'll bring Monaghan and he'll bring a lot of knowledge in terms of what Mayo do. I'm going the other way. I know it's in Castlebar, and that isn't the only thing. I think Mayo will win.
Armagh against Tyrone. Oisín, nervous?
I suppose it was the one draw that I didn't want, because I said that Tyrone could come through the back door and still win in All Ireland. So now I'm stuck completely. But yeah, look, I think I'd say it'll be an unbelievable occasion. I think it's sold out already. I think Armagh are going to find it very difficult. Armagh have a few nasty injuries that they've picked up over the last couple of months. One again, even on Friday night, Niall Grimley looks as if he's gone as well with a pretty serious injury, and hopefully he's doing okay. But I think Tyrone.
Who did you say is gone, Oisín?
Niall Grimley.
Oh, Niall Grimley.
That's like Pravda. Are you? Is that a public service announcement on behalf of the Armagh team?
I just think Tyrone might have the edge, but I hope. I don't want to turn into Kevin Keegan, but I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I can't wait for it, because I think the two teams who are trying to get something, find something in their season, and like Armagh started the league so well. I don't think Tyrone have hit any sort of heights, but I think the 5 weeks that the teams have had will be majorly beneficial.
You've kind of softened a lot though, because I see you now with Nicky Hart and Peter Canavan and that, and you're all great friends now. It's all, the edge is gone, is it?
My edge isn't gone, theirs is.
Really? Bryan, Armagh or Tyrone?
It's going to come down to that toss of a coin. I was looking at this morning and thinking, who would you fancy? These kind of games, it reminds me of Kerry Cork years ago, gone by in the mid-noughties, when we kept coming up against each other, and someone said to me that Kerry and Cork would go into the dark room, turn off the lights, and we'd still know what each other is doing. We still know each other that well. We know what the game plan is. We know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I have the same kind of just feeling with Armagh and Tyrone. They're above there. They know each other so well. They know each other inside out. And it's just one of those games, I think, that can go either way. But I'd probably just go for Tyrone from the fact, look, they're All-Ireland champions. Look, I think the game against Derry, they just didn't go right from on the day. I think they'll probably learn more from that than anything else. But I wouldn't be surprised if Armagh did win it. But at the moment, if I put my hat on the line, I'd probably have to pick Tyrone.
Tony?
Well, if Armagh were genuinely at full strength and they weren't missing, all the players that Oisín says they're missing, I'd give them an absolute great chance, because I do think that Tyrone are vulnerable. I could be misreading the situation completely there, but on the basis of what Oisín is saying, I'm going for Tyrone.
Louth against Cork, Oisín?
I'm going to go Louth. I think I was impressed. I was impressed with lots of what Cork have done and what they did last day. But I just think there's something about Louth. I think they have exceptional forwards. They're very good in the middle, and there's definitely still a question mark on how they are defensively, even how they are set up, how quick they are to get players back. But I'm going to go Louth to sneak it.
Okay, Bryan.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of a firm believer that in these kind of games, I think momentum is massive, and I think the momentum that Louth have had this year might just see it over the line. Cork, though, at home, blowing Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Look, you'd be thinking that Cork at home should be able to take care of Louth, but I just kind of, like Oisín, I just think momentum that Louth have had this year. Winning's a habit. I always say winning's a habit. You know, the work that Mickey Hart has done inside there has been exceptionally good. They have a fantastic free taker as well, and I think they could come down to freeze in the end. So I think Louth might sneak this one.
Tony?
There'll be next to nobody at the game in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Everybody is in Cork is still all over the hurling. Ironically, given the debate we had over the last month about venues in Cork, I think this was a big mistake by the Cork County Board. I think they should have played this game in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. I think there's no upside to playing the game in Páirc Uí Chaoimh other than the Cork County Board coming up and saying, look, lads, Ed Sheeran is gone. We actually have our stadium back and we're going to play it there. I think it's short-sighted. I think if Cork played in Páirc Uí Chaoimh again, I'd actually fancy them to win it. They actually could save their season, Paul, by winning just one game. That just, by the way, shows that's some indictment to Cork football for me to say that their season could be saved by beating Louth at home. But that's where they're at right now. I think if the game was in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, I'd fancy Cork 100%. I think when it's in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, I give Louth a big shout.
Great shout. I think could totally agree with the fact that they should have doubled down on Páirc Uí Chaoimh again.
Yeah, it's funny enough if Cork or Louth could end up with, for example, Limerick in the next round with a chance to get to an All Ireland quarter final. That's not a bad prize in all that. And Limerick, of course, would look at it equally, saying, "Well, I wouldn't mind either Louth or Cork or Oisín. They wouldn't mind the winners of Clare and Meath in the next round either. Who'll win that match?"
I just think Clare, two things. They're at home, and I think the other thing is to be smart and from the fact that when not a lot of people would have. I actually listened to the game on Clare FM, the game with Clare and Limerick, and they'd be hugely disappointed. And I think they are a team that can rally the troops, and I think the fact that they're at home, Meath feel to me like a team, and I could be completely wrong, feel like a team that are begging for the season to end almost. But yeah, I think I'll just go Clare just to edge it.
Bryan?
Yeah, I'm going to look Clare as well. I think Clare back in Ennis, they're a hard outfit back there, whatever it is. Every time we've gone back there over the last couple of years, they'll give you a game. Now I know their leader in Gary Brennan has now stepped down, and he was, he carried the fight every time that you played Clare, and he's a massive loss to them. But I still think Clare at home, they just seem to put in a big game back there. They're just hard to beat at home, and Meath, I just think they're so inconsistent. You know what they're at. I think it depends on what Meath throw up, but as Oisín says there, I think they're kind of themselves know that they're waiting for the season to come to an end. It's only a matter of when. But I just think they're too inconsistent. You don't know what Meath is going to show up next weekend. So for that reason, I think I'll go with Clare.
Tony?
Funny enough, lads, I actually think this is the booby prize game. People are talking about Cork v Louth. I actually think anybody who's in the next phase would be looking for the winner of this game. I think Clare are running out of petrol at this stage. I think Colm Collins has done an unbelievable job over a long period of time, but I'm worried that Clare are beginning to look a little bit stale. Meath are up and down all over the shop, but they did beat Clare 10-9 in the league game down in Ennis this year. I'll go against the grain here. I actually think Meath will win.